Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday night. That means family reunion time for the Team Up community. And so we're here tonight to talk about all things Charlotte. And before we jump into it, I just want to say thank you for your prayers and the love and the reach outs that you extended to me and my family last week. I felt loved. I felt cherished. And I felt so supported. You will never know what that meant to me. So thank you. And for those of you that are in Charlotte, I was not there. So tonight I'm kind of flying blind. Okay, so I've been with this company 29 and a half years. And this was only the second conference that I have missed in 29 and a half years. And so this was, but I was where I needed to be. So for that and with that, thank you so much. All right, I know that if you're at conference, all I have to do is look at the pictures on Facebook and what you sent me. And I know that those of you that took the time and were there, that you have been blessed in a big way. And for me, it feels like a rebirth. And so I thought we'd start tonight with Jerry Moran wants to do just a quick recap of Travis Garza, our CEO. I'm so impressed, Jerry, that he showed up twice during the conference, not just once, but twice. So, Jerry, if you want to give us a couple of those bullets, that would be lovely. Go ahead, honey.
Sure. Travis Garza is our new global CEO of 28 countries. And he said, although 95% of all new startups fail within their first few years, the juiceplus company is celebrating its 30th anniversary all year long. And this was a big celebration in Charlotte. After doing a 90-day worldwide listening tour, he has set several main and immediate goals to accomplish, and he wants to check them off the list pretty quick. He wants to improve our brand energy. Did any of you love the colorful, exciting signage that we found all around the convention center, inside and out? It was gorgeous. He said to hold on tight because in the spring, there's going to be something new. And he just left us hanging. Number two, he said to simplify the sign-up process and to improve new affiliate engagement. And that was music to our ears. Number three, streamline the customer service department to enhance the customer experience. And number four, the IT department is working closely with Bill Baker, and he's our CIO, Chief Information Officer, with Travis to continue to improve all things digital. He said it needs to become as easy as 1, 2, 3, and help our new people fast track and get moving on. If your grandmother can't do it, then it's too complicated. I thought that was a riot. Saturday, he said it takes two. So partner with your best friend or someone who you really like or love. We are better together. He's watching and admiring us live our mission with our social media engagement. And he did a beautiful tribute to Jay Martin with a short video honoring him and sharing some of his famous quotes. Success is not a team sport. If you can't make them laugh, you can't make them buy. Don't slay the dreamers. No is just on backwards. Success is a journey. My people, find a buddy and never forget your legacy. He called Jay and Sandra up on the main stage with him. And for 50 years, he has been at the helm leading our ship. So it really felt like there was a passing of the baton going as a corporate leadership to transition as he started into a whole new era. And one of Travis's first lines, which we're all going to remember, is, "It's not when you get into juiceplus, it's when Juice Plus gets into you. So he really is a visionary, just like Jay. And I feel he really does have our back. And he's going to be incredible, just an incredible partner for all of us. So I don't know if anybody's going to mention this, but we got $43 worth of free Juice Plus at this conference. We got Perform, a pouch of Perform, 2 sets of soft chews, a complete protein bar, and 2 complete serving single serving packs. And I've never seen them give out that much product to each and every participant.
Wow. Okay. Well, Jerry, you just answered one of my questions, because I'm seeing on Facebook people saying that what the Perform was in their bag and TSA pulled them over. And I'm going, what is everybody talking about? So, wow, look at Abby saying more than $43, almost $75 worth of gifts at the conference. Yeah, things are changing. This is exciting. All these little things make a huge difference. Jerry, thank you. Thank you. I wanted to recap real quick. Yeah, TSA pulling people over because of the Perform, Jamie. I think they all want to become Olympic athletes. What do you think? All right. Okay, so I'm going to cover my buddy, Jeff Olson, because we know we started on Friday morning with Travis, and then the baton eventually ended up with Jeff. And you guys know that HLA has been around now for about 18 months. It started in my living room 18 months ago, and it has evolved into a movement. And our end goal with HLA, and we're not disappearing, is to have a seat at the table when it comes to marketing. And after 18 months, Jeff and probably Dawn have a seat at the table with whoever the new marketing team is going to be. And so right before everybody left for conference, Jeff had a gift for everybody. And that was a slide deck that we're still holding on to. It was kind of pulled at the last minute. But he did have a video that he wanted to share with everybody. And that did not get shared either. But he shared it this morning. And Kathy, if you want to run this 2.5-minute video, it really speaks to the power of Jeff Olson and marketing. And you all have access to this. So Kathy, go ahead, my darling.
How do we get the farm to you, right? That's our game. How do we get the farm in you? This is a food-first approach. Talk about a kind of a paradigm shift versus a not food-based approach. And the not food-based approach is, the poster child is the multivitamin, and it's the nutritional equivalent of the minimum wage. I think you want more game than that. So what our company has innovated, and the lane that they have stayed in for 30 years, is daily plant food support. Is that a vitamin pill? No, it's plant matter. It's matter that matters. They've been pioneer, an innovator, a leader, best in class across fruit powders, vegetable powders, berry powders, more recently plant omegas. And the invitation is for you to adapt. This train's left the station. The invitation is for you to catch up. 100% plants, vegan, QC testing, it's safe, it's being used in utero with high-risk pregnancies, the best athletes in the world, surviving and thriving cancer patients. It's one of the safest things, cleanest things you're going to put in your body every day. What part of this don't you get? The fruit and vegetable part, the plant powder part, where people get wrapped around the axle is the encapsulation part. Here's the competitive advantage of encapsulation. 3 things degrade food: time, heat, oxygen. This gives it an oxygen barrier. Do you want that? Yes, because oxygen degrades food. You cut a banana, starts to oxidize and turn brown. Protection of those vital nutrients. But the other thing, the probably most powerful thing, the reason that these things have done $10+ billion in sales, little itty bitty fruit and vegetable, this ain't an experiment, okay? We know the game. The reason is because it's easy to do every day. It's easy to execute. It's just easy to do, therefore people do it. Physicians, David Phillips, call that compliance. Here's the science: compliance. The lane that this company has stayed in is one of the premier functional food companies in the world. Their lane, their franchise, plant powders, fruit and vegetable powders, plant powder shakes is the new breakfast. Who knew you could get omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 out of plants? Are you kidding me? Bypass the middle fish, more sustainable, good for the environment, all that.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, guys. And so I understand that HLA language was all over the conference, everywhere place you look, main stage speakers, all starting to speak the same language. And makes me so proud. I'm so proud. All right. So that's available to you, that quick little 2-minute snippet of Jeff Olson. It'll be on most of the team pages and Boxer threads. So feel free to use that. I want to run that by my preferred customers. I want to see what their reaction is to that. If maybe those that are, just on the trio might want to jump on board now and take the omegas. I just kind of want to go fishing with this and see what the reaction is. All right. Okay. So let's keep moving on because we've got people and topics to cover. Jason Dorsey. Oh my gosh. I had somebody call me or left me a message and I didn't know what they were talking about, but they said we could have stopped with Jason and all walked home. I didn't know what that meant. I had a lot of strange messages this past week, but Abby Nallen is stepping up to recap the man, Jason Dorsey. Go ahead, Abby.
Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Okay, so Jason Dorsey, he was incredible, which I have a funny story at the end to share, thanks to Ann Kennedy on that. So Jason Dorsey said generations give us a head start. So this guy's a researcher and researches generations and the different things that we can learn from generations, behaviors, and all those kinds of things. So this was incredible because basically what he dove into was why every single generation that we are, have in our world right now can be benefited and impacted by our business. And so it was just the most incredible perspective as we closed out our Friday morning session. So they are a faster way to connect, they build trust, and they drive influence. One thing that was extremely interesting, the number one trend that shapes generations and is never talked about is parenting. So people dog on different generations. And one funny thing that he said was, it's the previous generation that made those people the way that they are. And so anyway, he was bringing humor into all of this. And it was so not making fun of anybody, but just like really sharing facts and information. And it was hilarious. So I'm going to go through each generation and share a couple interesting facts with you. So generations give powerful clues. So Gen Z, they crave stability. They care deeply about social causes. They most trust social media. They're the most diverse. They want to be entrepreneurs, but don't want to risk losing money. So our business in that way is incredible for them because they lose literally nothing. And $200 is what they need every month in their world to, bridge the gap basically. And they are most open to our industry and they're considered the throwback generation. Millennials, they are tech dependent. They are going through a new life stage and there is this delayed adulthood. Now, this was very fascinating. There's actually a really wide gap in the millennial generation range. It ranges from 28 to 46. And so what he's seeing, he's a millennial himself, is he showed this incredible graph. And basically it was like this is a mega millennial. So these are the people that are driven and hardworking and feel like the other side of the millennial generation gives them a bad rap. And then this bottom line is the millennial. So the negative qualities about the millennial generation are those on this millennial line. So the generation is definitely split. So the ones on the bottom here are experiencing delayed adulthood, not having kids till they're like in their, late 30s, early 40s, which was super fascinating. We've got Generation X, which is they are naturally skeptical. They are loyal to people, not organizations, and they are a natural bridge. But this generation is actually critical in our industry because they are years from retirement and looking for something to have a new passion and desire in their world and their life. And then we've got the baby boomers. They are the most influential. They believe there are no shortcuts to success. So basically, in closing, this is what he said. People want to hear they are unique, special, and one of a kind. The emerging generations are outcome driven. So the way that you need to work with them is give them the outcome first and then work backwards. And then This was another interesting fact about, this was Generation Z. So if you are struggling with somebody in Generation Z, they struggle with eye contact because all they know is looking at a screen and speaking to someone via a screen, whether that's FaceTime, whatever that looks like. So he said, if you're struggling with them in a conversation, pull out like a flip book or whatever you have on your phone, and have a conversation with them. So like if I'm across from somebody that's a Generation Z, and look at the phone with them talking about what you're experiencing, and they're going to be more engaged. So very, very fascinating. If you're having trouble, engaging with them, they are not going to make eye contact with you as easily. So anyway, super interesting. He was incredible. He has books if you want to go look him up, but this was really funny. Anne texted me today, and she went home and told her husband about Jason Dorsey. And she was like, she had said that name sounds really familiar. And if I'm wrong, Anne, just put in the comments here, but I think I'm telling this correctly. And basically her husband went to school with Jason Dorsey. We got a yearbook picture right here, friends. Yearbook picture. So thank you, Anne, for that hilarious story and little tidbit to finish out Jason. Okay, Terry, I'm turning it back over to you.
My gosh, I love it's a small world. It is a small world. Oh my gosh. Okay, Ann Kennedy, I want you to go sponsor him in the business because you got relationship going on your side. Abby, that was so much fun. And yeah, baby boomers always have a pen. Yeah. Okay. Allison Thompson, unmute yourself. I understand that you were really
my goodness.
with Alexis Busselman.
Yes, and I can't get over that yearbook picture we just saw. That kills me. Thank you. Okay, so yes, and I hope everybody can see me okay. The plan was not for me to be at the soccer fields tonight, but as it would have it, as life would have it, my husband had a hospital shift that came up. So here we are. I loved Alexis Busselman because I felt like it was a breath of fresh air, an NMD telling us she had slid backwards, and this is how she got herself out of the hole. So many times I feel like what we do is we hear how they got to NMD and we kind of hear about all those things, but then you don't really hear a lot from NMD and beyond, and how their business might go backward and how they have to do just like all of the rest of us to rebuild sometimes. So that's why I like this. So anyway, if you're not familiar with Alexis Busselman, she's a young mom. She's got 4 kids. She homeschools, very busy. They chose to live in an RV for a while. So you can just scratch off big house for events as something that helped her build her business back up. She got to NMD in 18 months and basically used events to do that. So she was having events constantly to do that. But then when COVID hit, of course, she had to kind of shift, and she hit NMD before COVID. But when COVID hit, she had to shift, and they started using Zoom stuff, and they were really rocking it, she said. But eventually they weren't rocking it anymore. And Zoom wasn't working very well, just like all of us had those experiences. And anyway, she also had just life things happening. She was having babies, lots of things were going on. And before she realized it, she looked up, and the benefits package that she'd worked so hard to get, she said that she nearly got to a place where she was going to lose that if she didn't kind of make a decision and get her act together. So at the time, she said she had 100 partners. Now, I don't think that was direct to her. I think that was like in her whole organization. But she mentioned 100 different like affiliates on her team. And she called every one of them, or texted them, contacted every one of them. And 95 of them said they were not interested in doing anything else. 5 of them said, yes, we would like to do something. So she showed this really sweet picture of her and those 5 other people in like a FaceTime call, a video chat call. And there they were. They started having an accountability call every week. And basically, I think it was just to check in, to hold each other accountable to the things that they wanted to make sure they were doing. And you guys, it's crazy, but they started working their tails off. They just decided we got to put the pedal to the metal. And her upline told her, And this was a big part of her story. It just takes one person to completely change your business. And so there she was working really hard with her team. And she said it was a good 6 months of hard work before she started to see her numbers go back up, which that was so encouraging to me, because I thought, okay, like I don't have to see results overnight. I don't even have to see results in a month. And if I don't see results in 3 months, I shouldn't stop. So that was encouraging to me, that she just was really specific with how she built back. And so she said one day she looked up, and one of these new teammates that she had, I guess in that 6 months, she'd gotten a new teammate. And one of these new teammates was putting orders like 3, 4, 5 orders in a day. And she was like, this has to be wrong. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? So she calls the girl, and the girl, I guess at this time, Alexis had never used the cart sharing on our new virtual office. And this girl said, oh yeah, I'm just having all these conversations. And when they tell me what they might be interested in, I just create them a shopping cart and I send it and say, well, here's a shopping cart with all the things we talked about. If you're interested, you can edit it if you want to. And she was just basically using it as a tool to continue to show them what they could get, as opposed to like what I've been doing. I only send a cart when they've said they want it. So she taught Alexis how to do it, and Alexis brought her out on stage and had this new, I think she's an SC, and y'all can shake your head yes or no, those of you that were there. I think she's an SC. She grew to SC in a really short amount of time, or whatever she's at, in a really short amount of time. And in the building time, SSC, oh, thank you, Abby. So in the short amount of time that they have been rebuilding, every single one of her teammates that were on that little chat, on that video chat, in that picture, as well as this new girl, all made promotions, not just one level, some of them multiple level promotions by the time that we just had this Juice Plus Live. So that it was just really a story of building back. And at the end, she just encouraged us, like, go out there and find that one person. And I know we've got people on this call that are that one person in some of the businesses that represented here. So it was a great story. It was a good, encouraging experience.
Oh, Allison, I love that they put her on stage sharing that story, because I could have a conversation with almost every single one of you and your leaders, and we've all experienced the same thing. There's not one of us that in the past 2 or 3 years that our businesses have not slid back. And we're in a new phase. We're in a rebirth, and this is exciting. And I love that she got to tell the truth on the stage like that. How motivating is that? That's not unmotivating. That is motivating. That what was that movie with Anthony Hopkins? If one man can do it, another man can do it. Yeah, that's it. And her partner that taught her how to send the cart, that's brilliant. This girl assumed the sale. She just assumed the sale. That is so powerful. And those accountability calls, I mean, I had a quick conversation with someone today. I think it might have been Steph. I know that accountability groups are popping up all over the Team Up organizations. So I think that it's the season for that too. We'll talk more about, because all of this is great, but if you don't get into action and activity, it's all for naught. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you. All right. I want to, Carly Kelly, you were super impressed with the Learning Lab. Talk to us about, what did Christine Boss, is it Christina or Christine Bossy? I wasn't there.
Kristen.
I got it completely wrong.
At least that's what I wrote down.
Okay.
Everything else.
I'm flying here with blinders on. Go for it, Carly.
Okay, so I was super excited about this one because I built my business to where it's at now, primarily on social media. But the last few years, like you said, and like Allison said, I've just kind of stalled. Partially my fault. I'm in and out and just not completely focused. So I've been trying to figure out, I know I've talked to you some, do I get off social media? How do I kind of get back into this again? And you have told me multiple times, it's not this or that, it's and. You're going to do this and that, do events and social media. And so I've been trying to figure out how to do that. And so she said all of this, it flowed really well, but you got me. So y'all are just going to have to figure it out, and you can figure out your own little rhythm, but I'm just going to share the notes that I took. So she started out by saying why people buy. They buy with there's an intent to it. And the business strategy also is done with intent. They don't just buy because they like the product or because you told them that the product is great. There needs to be intent behind it. And so where I have been lately in my little comfort zone, but results are going to happen on the outer circle. And so she said, in order to attract your ideal team members and customers, you have to ask 4 key questions. Who are they? Where are they? What do they want? And why do they want it? I know me personally, I totally believe everyone needs Juice Plus, everyone. And she was like, when you post on social media that everyone can do this, everyone needs the product, nobody's going to do it. And so I took that to heart and I was like, okay, there's one of my problems right there. So you have to understand your people. When you know who, the how becomes easy. So step 1, you identify your personal target market. What season of life are you in? What demographic do you relate the most to right now? What do you currently enjoy doing? What have you overcome in the past 3 years? These are all different questions to help you figure out who your personal target market is. So mine could be homeschooling. First year that we're doing this, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'll get there. Step 2, identify your product target market. What are they currently frustrated with that your product can solve? What do they want? What have they tried before and what didn't work for them? Step 3, identify where your people are. Facebook groups, the large accounts that they follow, the authors they follow, TikTok, fitness classes, etc. And so something that she talked about a lot that really resonated with me was on social media. Again, having young kids right now, I don't really like to make everything public. And so I've also been struggling. How am I going to grow my business on social media when none of my social media followers really seem to want Juice Plus? And so her example, I'm not going to use hers. I'm going to use mine. And I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to tomorrow. So I'm going to find a homeschool group that I'm in. I'm in several different ones right now. So I'm going to go in one of those homeschool groups. These are not necessarily my friends. I might have some mutual friends, but this is the homeschool group itself. I'm going to go in there and make a post about something that I can give them for free. Busy moms don't have time to go work out, but I know all these months right now with having my kids, I need to be intentional with my workouts. That's what I want right now. And so I'm going to go in this homeschool group and post, hey, I'm going to start this accountability group for myself. If any of you want to join, I'm going to be posting free workouts that I'm doing 5 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever I choose to do. I'll also throw in some recipes. From that, people can either say, yes, I want to join this group as well. And so then I'll add them or they'll join it. And I'm just going to give them free intent, free content. And so not everything has to be a sale. So they're going to join, they're going to start seeing it over time. They're going to start building trust with me and they're going to ask questions. We're going to start engaging over time and then they can follow me, or I guess my page is not private, or it is private. So they'll send me a friend request. We'll become friends. Then they'll start seeing my Juice Plus and just the other things of life that I do. And so that's where my people are at. Her group was the Peloton group or she started a Peloton group. I can't remember. So that's where you're going to find your people. Okay, let me look at my notes. When you engage, you're also going to engage and comment on their content. So you're going to make a connection. And that's where the attraction comes in. So engagement gets their eyes, the content gets their follow, the connection earns their trust, and the consistency gets their purchase. What else? She said you want to connect with people daily, but be a real person. Like however you're going to talk. Me, I just fly by the seat of my pants. Like I'm a hot mess. That's how I'm going to talk to people. Give them free educational events, samples, fitness challenge, give them small wins for free. Speak to their current problem, speak to their desire, paint the future, address their concerns, remove the risk, and sell the value, not the cost. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is selling when done in the best interest of others feels like service. That's how she ended it.
I love that. It's how shall I serve? And I think, Allison, do you have a question for Carly?
Sorry, I didn't even read those.
Your,
Me, Allison?
yeah, your hand is up.
Oh, that's a mistake. Sorry.
All right.
I don't
Okay.
know how that's happening right now.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I saw you waving your hand. I said, she's got a question. All right. Carly, I know this had to have been such a powerful, was that a learning lab or was she main stage?
It was a learning lab.
Wow. I got to tell you right now, I'm super impressed with the company is doing with the learning labs now too.
They were so good.
That
so
was
good.
just so powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the product. Ann Kennedy. Oh my goodness. Ann Kennedy.
Hi.
Dr. David Phillips, and talk to me about this new piece of research, baby. Woo.
Yes. So I really love it. Anytime David Phillips talks, I'm like, okay. So I recorded it. It's not the best quality, but I know that they're going to send the recordings out or we're going to have access to them at some point. But I was really blown away by, and this was on Saturday. So this was the event that was kind of open up to the public to come to. I try to get people there, but it's all right. We still got the information. So what he was saying was just talking about cardiovascular health. That's the kind of intent of the whole research study that just came out too. So he was giving us a lot of facts about that. And he said that they are already seeing in babies in utero that there's plaque buildup in their arteries. And that just is like terrible to me to hear. So sad. It said cardiovascular disease in 2020 took almost 1 million lives. And cardiovascular heart disease itself claimed almost 400,000 lives itself in 2020. There has been $400 billion in costs to take care of patients in this country in 2020, dealing with these kind of cardiovascular issues. And he said that like when he's an emergency room doctor, for those of you who don't know who David Phillips is, and he went to Harvard. He's really brilliant, and he is partnered with juiceplus. And the reason that he partnered with juiceplus is the science. His wife started with juiceplus, but what kept him in was the science. And so we're so proud of, I love that juiceplus has that medical perspective too. And I love that he understands the power of the nutrition and helps educate us on that and how it relates to the statistics and the research that we do. He was a medical student in the 80s, he's talked about, and he said he would walk in the doctor's lounge and there would be donuts, doctors smoking in the lounge, eating Pop-Tarts. And he said, well, I ate the donuts too because I was a poor medical student. But he said that they would eat that, leave the break room, and then go down the hall and do a 4-vessel bypass. So he said there still continues to be a disconnect with doctors then and still now, unfortunately. He talked about the importance of exercise for people, for anybody. He says only about 1 in 5 people get enough exercise in a week. The goal is to get 150 minutes of exercise and 75 minutes of more vigorous if you can. And then in terms of eating, in terms of eating fruits and vegetables, barely 1 in 10 people get enough. I think, we want 7 to 13 servings. And he said something, and I didn't get to write it down, but something like people get like an average of maybe around, this is not exactly right, a cup of vegetables and a cup of fruit and a half a cup of vegetables a day. So most people are not hitting the mark at all, but it's so vital for health. He said vitamins, kind of like Jeff Olson said, vitamins have bridged the gap in the past, but research shows that they are not effective. And the only way to bridge the gap truly is with juiceplus, the functional powdered produce, where we have no warning labels, no pesticides, gluten-free, all of the amazing facts about juiceplus that we love. And it's just perfect really to talk about cardiovascular health. He said that now that Juice Plus, they announced, I don't know, they announced that there's 48 published studies. And I love that he specified the ones that he was most proud of, the ones in Harvard, MD Anderson, Morris Children's, and Yale. He had to muffle Yale because he went to Harvard. He wasn't very proud to say that. Yale was on the list too, but anyway, just kind of talked about heart health and the importance of not being sedentary, and that we all want to perform better, and that's going to take reducing inflammation, reducing oxidative stress, and reducing the vasoconstriction in our vessels. And I'm sure I said that wrong. But all the research that we have around like we have research about all those things, about chronic inflammation and about oxidative stress and about the blood vessels staying open and not constricting. Juice Plus has research on those things. He talked about the importance of gut microbiome health. And he says we have a research study now that talks about that Juice Plus modulates genomic expression and regarding the gut. So I'm sure I'm not saying all that right, but it was just really profound that all the things that are critical for cardiovascular health, you can benefit from. I mean, Juice Plus adds so much benefit to your body for all those different reasons. He did say a fun fact that I thought was interesting, but the whole crowd reacted to it. And he was talking about bananas. He said bananas have a high level of I guess the beauty of Juice Plus is we have a high polyphenol count in our capsules, but bananas have a high level of polyphenol oxidase. And so it degrades the berries. So when you're making a smoothie, either add more berries to your smoothie or separate two. Don't eat bananas when you take your berries or eat berries in your smoothie, because it's going to not make them as effective. So that was a fun fact that he added in that everybody was commenting about. Okay, so as far as the research study, he was talking about that Manfred came out on the stage and shared the research findings. So I love it. They were both out there at the same time. But he was talking about how researchers from Italy, the United States, and Colorado, I don't know why I put US because that Colorado's in the United States. Anyway, they did fruit, veggie, and berry. We know it reduces coronary heart disease and reduces those causes. Let's see. Hopefully I can read my notes. Some of the common risk factors for heart disease is high cholesterol and high homocysteine levels. And so if we can reduce homocysteine, reduce cholesterol, then we're going to reduce the risk. And when the researchers were doing the research study, there was only one product available out there that had enough research for them to start using to compile this data. They looked for others. And what I love that Manfred said is that whenever they're doing the independent research on our products, what happens is Juice Plus, all Juice Plus provides is obviously the product, but they provide the hypothesis and what questions they want to be considered or to be answered. But the researchers decide what if they are going to accept that, and they kind of take it from there. So he said whenever they were doing this study, that he said Manfred even had some sleepless nights because he's like, I'm kind of at the mercy of whatever they find out, and whatever they find out is what they're going to publish. And so he's like, I think they're going to show some bit of it. You know, there's just all this apprehension, like what's really going to come out. But he said he was blown away by the results of adding Juice Plus in and how it affects coronary cardiovascular health and public health. He said with Juice Plus in the United States over the course of 10 years, we will reduce heart incidents. And he also said he leaned his head out the window. He could like make this assumption too, that reduce cardiovascular deaths by 60 million people over the course of 10 years. 62,410,000 people's lives would be saved from that, from taking Juice Plus. And they also said that the direct cost savings for cardiovascular heart disease we would be saving in healthcare in America alone $109,760,000,000 over the course of these 10 years. So those big numbers, he was just blown away. He said this is like a big birthday in his researching career because that was just phenomenal results. He said when they were trying to do the compare, like give some other comparisons, of like the impact that other things would have on their bodies. They tried, there was no product that could even had any research that could even do what they said it would do. But they said they tried orange juice, vegetable juice, and tart cherry just to try to come close to something that would have an impact. And he said there's like not even close to what Juice Plus would do. So anyway, he said that let the numbers tell the story. It's there, like we don't have to make it up. It's all straightforward what Juice Plus does in our bodies. Together we can create change. We can do so much good for people. Juice Plus is clinically proven, but we are performance driven, was the way he ended it. So it was powerful. And watch it though, because the way he says it is so much better than I did. So awesome.
I can't wait for Manfred to have, just Manfred alone recapping this so that we can over and over again. It's going to be so powerful. Those numbers blew me away. I was seeing this pop up, on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm like, what are they talking about? This is unbelievable. Look at those numbers. Crazy exciting. My goodness, talk about the compound effect, my friends. A food first approach. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, none of this makes a bit of difference if we don't incorporate into our daily method of operation. Steph Fletcher, are you there? I don't know if Steph is just with us. I know she had activities with her kids tonight. Didn't know if you wanted to give some marching orders, because guys, how many of you bought tickets for Phoenix at the conference? Or, yeah, look at just about everybody. But before Phoenix is Indianapolis. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be smaller, but it is going to be powerful. Yes, Stephanie Fletcher. Unmute yourself, baby. It's going to be smaller, but so powerful. And only those affiliates that have a leadership position like QSSC and above will be invited. So we have a score of affiliates who are already sales coordinators. If you want to be in the room in Indianapolis, please let us know. I'm going to start calling every single sales coordinator that I have and say, do you want to be in Indianapolis? If so, let's put a game plan together. Steph, I know that you are going to start some accountability calls. Do you want to just share what that's going to look like?
Yes, I can. I just can't turn on my video because I'm in the bathtub. I'm not going to lie about it. Okay. So.
Okay, well, thank you. Share away.
Anyway, so, when Alexis was talking about accountability groups, and really it's funny because whether you're new or you've been in a long season of hibernation, all of the people that came back and promoted during this conference under her were all people that were already on her team and committed to start doing this again. So that was so encouraging to me, where I've been in a season of doing that. Of just kind of being quiet and have a full-time job. And so it was just really, really motivating to hear that it's never too late. And it's not really, I don't like to call it restarting. I'm just digging down and putting my head down and doing the work. And so I have asked for accountability, and my team has asked for some accountability. So we're starting a group. And I think obviously the groups probably, we need to branch off and do multiple groups, just because, when it gets too big, there's too much yapping. But it is a working group. It's in Messenger. We're going to meet every Monday. And then we have kind of these, actions. So we have to know, what are you going for? What's the timeline you're going for, that you're going to want to do this in? Then you backtrack. What are you going to do in 30 days? What are you going to do daily? When? I want a time. What's the time? Like, are you going to work at 6 a.m.? Are you going to work at 6 p.m.? And really, honestly, everyone across the board says 30 to 45 minutes. And you guys, I have a full-time job. I've got 4 kids. I have another job plus Juice Plus, and I can find 30 to 45 minutes in my day. So I truly believe everyone can do that. It's just a decision away. That's it. Over and out.
Over and out. Thank you. And please be careful. Soaking. Oh my gosh, you're the best. All right. Hey, real quick, guys. Does somebody want to give me an update on the U.S. Performance Center? because that was those numbers. That's exciting. Anybody want to unmute themselves and give us a recap of the U.S. Performance Center? Anybody? Stacy, are you still there? Anybody? Well, something like 6.
Okay, so this is what I can tell you, and I might have these numbers wrong. Is Kelly Ballard on? Because I think she had it too. But anyhow, there were 600 athletes in the U.S. Performance Center. Is that right? That are now taking and using it as juiceplus as a protocol for their health, for their performance. And what they were saying is they have less recovery time because they are going. So they are finding that the juiceplus is helping them. Also, 2028, the Olympics will be in LA, and every athlete then in the US will be able to go to the Olympics, and they hope that every athlete there will now be that's going there will all be on juiceplus when they go to those Olympics. And they were saying how they can take this, it's clean product. And yes, the trio is there, and they're soon adding the complete and the omegas into that. And someone else is putting out a message, but that's what I remember for it. I don't have everything here. And Patty Griggs is saying, yes, the 4 athletes were up there. They had the Taekwondo, the captain of the oh my goodness.
Field hockey.
Field hockey team. I know, because I have someone who's I'm getting on juiceplus because of that. The field hockey team, they had Jason Fowler and they had Winter Vinecki up there. And so they were talking about how it's helped them, and that sometimes when they're going to some, Olympic Village, they're getting chicken nuggets and baked beans for breakfast. So they know that what they're getting in their body, they will be able to perform, they will be able to recover because they have the juiceplus in them.
Are they going to be doing plasma testing with these athletes? Are they going to be?
They're doing all testing, so I'm not able to share my video, but I'm not in the bath. But I'm
in the tub too.
No, I'm not. In fact,
but
but
you and Fletcher call each other up and say, "I'm soaking." Okay,
the two of us.
They did say that the Taekwondo group has been on it for over a year. The year prior to that, they had, I think he said 1 or 2 medals. And the year that after 1 year of being on juiceplus, they got 7 medals. And that is the most in the United States history for Taekwondo.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest things about this, I think what gives us leverage here is that we're truly partnering with the best of the best athletes. Tony Brenner has this relationship, and this relationship has given us the opportunity for all of this incredible stuff. And the thing that got me the most was David Corner, I guess is his name. He was one of the co-founders. And what he said was, when everyone told us we weren't going to be able to do this, and everyone told us that that they were dreaming too big, he said, we just looked at them and said, but how can we do this? And he said they wanted the best of the best equipment, the best testing systems, the best everything. And when it came to the best nutrition, once they looked at everything across all different product lines, our research is what was just stood out to them, over and over and over again, that they were like, nothing compares to the research that this product has shown. Nothing showed this. So when then it came to them making the decision on the best nutritional support, it was a no-brainer, hands down, juiceplus. And to what Jerry just said too, is that what Winter and they were all saying is that when they travel, the level of food that they get is like a -5, right? It's just not great. And because of juiceplus, they feel supported on a cellular level, no matter what. They know when to push and pull. One of them was like, we know when to double up. We know that we know how to prep to get our bodies ready for when we're going to not have good food. And we know what juiceplus we want in our body. And right now, their standard juiceplus protocol is fruits, veggies, and berries. So I'm going to type something out for you but we also have to be very cognizant of the words we use around this, because this is a really powerful tool that we have in our tool belt, but we want to make sure that we're being compliant with the verbiage. So one of the things that Tony Brown is going to create a Voxer for us, and that's going to give us specific verbiage. But not only that, they have an incredible video for us that they're going to be sharing that we can share, and that has all the great verbiage too. But one of the verbiage that she said on stage was, "I'm so excited to announce that the incredible United States Performance Center is partnering with the juiceplus company to provide fruit, vegetable, and berry functional food powders to every Olympic and national team athlete that trains here. The USPC fueling station will also serve juiceplus Complete and juiceplus to perform to each athlete daily for plant-powered performance, recovery, and glycogen replacement." So this is like specific words. I'm going to type it here so you guys can copy it and paste it. But it's important, like words matter. And these words matter. So we really want to be compliant around what we can say here. I hope that was helpful.
Oh, it's very helpful. And they are going to test for the glycogen stores. I was wondering.
Absolutely. That's huge. That's a huge piece.
That's huge. Yeah, absolutely. That's wow. Talk about a piece of research. That's a population study. That is going to be so effective. Thank you. All right. So guys, for those of you that participated in our little dinner on Thursday night at conference, everybody that took a part in that and celebrated and played, and some of you got some cash. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you put it to good use, or whatever you wanted to do with it. That was like my gift to you. Look at, oh, there you are. There you are. They're the winners of Abby and my Patty. I love it. Look at those faces. I hope you spent it wisely, or save it for your next conference ticket. There you have it. All right, guys, remember, I heard great things about the food too. People were like, the food was so good. What was it? Allison today called me, so it was just so good. All right, gosh, get ready, guys. Remember this, what you focus on expands and grows. Okay, I mean, what you focus on expands and grows. It's a law, it's physics. It's absolutely works. So start focusing. Let's start working together. Let's put together some accountability calls. This Thursday at 7:30 and at 12 o'clock on Friday, I will be doing the prospecting calls, or take a peek that I did before conference. Take a peek at the juiceplus business. So those of you that are out there doing sourdough events and you're constantly talking about the company and the product, have them check me out on Thursday night. Okay. Woo. Anybody have any closing comments? All right, you too, Cindy. Know that I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Carrie, we missed you so much.
Oh,
so
you know.
much. And we prayed for you a lot.
thank you. I
We
felt
still
it.
are.
I knew. And thank you, because this month is going to be very important for him. Very important. Okay.
Praying
Woo.
for Brooke.
Guys. All right. See you next Monday night. Kathy.
Carrie.
I have one thing to say. If anybody's wondering how to, let me stop the recording, but don't go away.